Hey, so welcome, beauties. Here we are. This is our second time out in this inaugural season of, today I'm calling it Tap and Talk. I have no idea if it's Talk and Tap or if it's something else. If you have some ideas about what this should be and what kind of a title you'd like to hear, that's fine. But it's all about, tapping around what's going on in our heads these days, what's happening, and how can we bring that level of angst down as we use some tapping and learn that it is our friend, and it's the fastest, most efficient way that I know to really help click off those spinning thoughts in our heads. And so I'm really excited today because a very dear friend has arrived to take part and be with us today, um, all the way from Hawaii. It's Kandiee Campbell, and I'm just so in awe of her because she runs an amazing, it's an internet radio show slash podcast that you can, is it on, it's every week now, Kandiee?
It's every week. It airs on Thursdays from 7 to 8 p.m. Eastern and Saturdays from 10 to 11 a.m. Eastern.
Okay, so tell everybody what the name of that is and what it's all about.
My show is called Awaken Hope, and this came as a through a fortuitous set of events. But the premise of the show is to let me back up a little. I'm a grief counselor, a grief therapist, and I help people process, transform uh, loss, anxiety, and the fears that kind of keep them stuck and keep them held back. But I also recognize that not everybody is going to a therapist or will go to a therapist right away. So I offer guests and tools and strategies that can help people navigate life with topics that are, I try to find and that are applicable to the challenges people face on an everyday basis, from stress, anxiety, parenting, communication, the ability to show up, which unfortunately or fortunately, however you look at it, impacts what we do. We either show up or we don't show up. If we don't show up, that impacts us too. So I just provide tools and strategies. I offer guests that have wisdom and expertise in their specific areas to provide a tool, a strategy for someone to navigate life, because none of us are immune from life happening. Life happens. We're going on our merry way and we think everything's okay. And then all of a sudden we get sidelined or we fall off the side of the cliff, so to speak. And we all need things that are going to help us get back on our path and keep moving forward, whatever that looks like. It may be in inch by inch steps, or it may be big giant leaps. But knowing this, that even the inch by inch steps are going to give you those big giant leaps. But if you don't have tools and strategies that can help you, you can really get stuck going around the same silly mountain, seeing the same issues and problems that pop up because we're for various reasons.
Amazing as always. I've been honored to be on Kandiee Show a couple times. So um, we go way back into our coach training days, and it's just so fun to even chat about the latest things that we're learning and implementing with our clients and our guests. And um, something that I love that you've just done, you've just launched with your Awaken Hope show. You've launched journals, and it's something that I preach all the time. When I was writing my book, I found myself, particularly in the exercises, like, using that journal all the time, because I believe that writing is absolutely a connection to your higher self or your superpower or whatever you want to call it, the universe or God. But all of those spirit informations can be downloaded even when you don't expect it. Usually when you don't expect it is when the best stuff pours out. And I've just had a second to look at the Kandiee, and it's like, wow, I love how you did it, how you created that. And that's a really nice tool. So, everybody, that's Awaken Hope. And where do we find that? I know it's like Apple and everywhere now.
Well, the nationally syndicated radio show is on Brushwood Media Network, but it
Mhm.
also our main partner is Apple, so it is anywhere Apple has a presence. Apple CarPlay, their podcasts, it doesn't matter. I mean, Apple's got a presence in a lot of places these days. So all you have to do is type in Awaken Hope with Kandiee Campbell or by Kandiee Campbell, and you should get a picture of me that and a player that, or last but least but not last, you can go to my website, the Awaken Hope Show at gmail .com. Sorry, the Awaken Hope Show .com. I'm
Right.
getting
Okay.
myself confused.
I get that a lot. I understand because it's so hard to keep track but I actually have you on Spotify because I
Ah,
was
yes. Yeah.
listening to stuff in there and I thought, well, and there it was. So yeah, it's really cool. Some great guests and inspiration. And so um Kandiee was jumping on today because I said, I want some people. This is new. We're just spreading the word. I had someone texting me today asking if she could tell her mom and other people. I went, oh my God, please do. Because what this is about is helping others. And I love the acronym for HOPE in Kandiee Show of helping other people every day. And this is something I'm going to make a commitment to do every week and see how it shakes out, see what it is that works best for you. We will always have the recordings, and you can fast forward to the tapping part and just listen to that. And even if you're not familiar with tapping, you can follow along with us. I do encourage that you download my freebie on my website, sandyevenson.com. It's really great because it includes what the heck is tapping and these are very short little videos of what it is. And then the second one is how to do it. And then the third is tapping for stress and anxiety. And you can implement any emotion in that demo. And also there's a tapping point graph. And when we get started, I will point them out again here. So if you're watching the video part, you can see it. But it's really very basic. And I just want to point out that when, you know, we coach or Kandiee as a therapist, where a lot of that is organic and intuitive, and we're personalized and go right to what that individual or group needs. So what we're doing here is giving you some generalities so you can adapt them. And as we attract people to this and make it grow, you will see that we all have very similar emotional responses to things, and they can be a myriad of different things that are happening to us, but we kind of funnel down into these basic emotions, which is what we'll be working with. And also, I want to point out that if you go to places like YouTube, which you can find anything from how to fix a washing machine to how to tap, right? Everything is there. If I don't know how to fix something on the internet, like something's wrong in Google, or Google Drive, I go looking, how do I fix this? But I just want to point out that there are tons of tapping videos, and you can just go in there and say, tap for and choose your topic, and you'll find it. They are all quite basic, and they'll just help you get over that hump. And I really would like to just do this one commercial as well, is, get to my website, find my book, or go to Amazon, find my book. It's The Woo Woo Way by
Mhm.
Sandy. If you're on the website, you'll find all the links and all that stuff. And just so that you can get more familiar, there are videos in there as well. I think as Kandiee and anyone else comes on who is in this realm of helping people, will always give you those tools and point you in the right direction. So I'm
Tapping,
going to, yes, go ahead.
I'm sorry. Tapping is a truly an amazing tool. I recommend it on my show, especially for people that are struggling with something, because it's made a difference in my life. And I can hardly endorse Sandy's book, Woo Woo Way. I have read it. I love it. And the tapping she provides and the insight she provides is top notch. I mean, you're gonna get unblocked and
Right,
clearer if you read and you do the tapping, because tapping is going to calm your nervous system, get you out of that fight, flight, or freeze. Because
right.
you know as well as I know, when we're in fight, flight, or freeze, we don't do anything. We kind of stay stuck.
Yeah, that's the big thing, is that that part of our brain, we'll have one part that will have this memory, and within a fraction of a millisecond sends that message of a fear about a memory to the other part of the brain, the little amygdala, and it will immediately send that message out to the body: fight, flight, freeze, fawn. And it takes all of the capacity out of thinking and clarity. Everything goes to the extremities, so you can stand up and fight, or you can run, or you can crouch down and hide, whatever. You can make yourself small. And of course, the one that a lot of us women have grown up doing is people pleasing, which is that fawn idea. So the absolute truth about tapping is that it turns that off, calms your nervous system in 10 to 90 seconds. So what we do is we tap on points on our face and body, just lightly with a couple of fingers, and we say out loud, or even to ourselves, what's in our head. People tell me I don't know what to say. So actually, you don't have to say anything. It will work without words, but it's even more powerful to express what's there. And in the book, I liken the whole idea of this invisible energy system within us and those energy centers called chakras to a house. And basically, we walk through a house renovation with the images of actually a house as I talk about the chakras, so that you can understand that, the foundation of the house is the root chakra. It's the foundation of everything. And if that's not stable and we're on shaky ground, everything else is unstable too. And it's a fun read as well, because the chapters start with one of my life stories, and some of them are funny and some of them are a little heart-wrenching, but they're very effective and showing you an example of what happens when that part of you is offline or is stuck. And then there's teaching and lessons, but then at the end is a story from one of my clients. I put them in what I call witness protection. You cannot identify who they are. They might see similarities in their stories because I've changed them up enough. And so nobody can Google and find out who that is, but they can kind of recognize maybe some of it. There's one person in there who was okay with the story I was using, and she wanted to go ahead and leave her name and her information, but everybody else is incognito, so to speak. But even if you just read the stories, you're going to get what's going on and how it all works. That I guess that making more sense. And I just want to point out too, Kandiee arrived with a cold, and so she sounds a little um, stuffed up today. And this tapping, I know, can actually help clear that. Um, but I want to point out that it is actually preventative. I I don't know, Kandiee, were you at the Margaret Lynch Renery's Ignite in 2020 when COVID hit? Were you at
Yes.
that? I thought you were. Okay. So what happened, you guys? We are in a big room with tons of people and, a stage. And we were there for 3 intense days, and you might have added on more stuff days before or been there at night because there was lots of stuff happening. And we were all in close proximity. We're hugging each other. There's people from all over the world. And we learn that first morning that the pandemic has been declared. We're just outside of Boston. It's really hit hard. Everything's happening.
Mm-hmm.
We all stayed safe because we were tapping all the time. There was a some sort of instruction, and there was lessons, and then there was tapping. And we were going through some pretty deep stuff, and we were just still in such great protective energy with that tapping. So no, and I saw later, I think it was Nick Gortner who put out the information that there were statistics about it that you absolutely, it's like preventive medicine. So if you take nothing away from this whole idea of tapping, learn to do it to protect yourself a little bit every day. It will protect you. Okay. Oh, there's so much more to teach, and we've got weeks and weeks. We can do this. So let's get into this, Kandiee. Um,
Good.
all right, I would like to just check in with you on, you know, what you're feeling in your body right now and what's going on in your head. What sort of negative thought process have you been having? And if we just kind of check in, even over the last week or so, what's been the prevailing thing? Or maybe it was just today, like, damn it, I have a cold. But what's going on?
Well, this cold came on uh during the onset of waiting for my grandson to be born. Um, and has progressed into a stronger cold than I thought it would be.
Mm,
And I'm getting ready to go on a trip, so I'm really, because we have a wedding to go to this weekend, so I really would like to get this more manageable rather than sounding like I am
y-
dying in the sense of, I sound awful when I'm coughing. So I don't want to do that because I don't want to scare people. But also, it's coming to the, I would say the end of it, but it's not there yet. So my head has truly been in a fog, but I've been pumped up by cold meds. So I'm not thinking as clearly as I would like
Yeah,
because I'm trying to keep the medication in my system to kind of help me get through the day so I'm not hacking and coughing on everybody. But
right.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So, when you think about all of this and you're looking at, oh my God, I have this cold and I've got to get ready because we're traveling and it's a wedding. People are going to really be upset with me if I arrive like this. What am I going to do? Is there anything else there? Do you have like an overwhelm or an energy fatigue or, what's happening?
Energetically, I am very tired. I mean, I'm just like, I don't feel like I have the strength to get through this quickly.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just, yeah, I'm a little overwhelmed with the cold. the severity of the cold and the fact that it just won't go away yet.
Okay. So what might be underlying that? What sort of emotion can you tell me?
Probably a little anxiety.
Yeah. Yeah, it kind of pops its head up, right?
Mm-hmm. A little
So,
anxiety, a little. Oh, I guess one of the things that I'm really in the process of is learning to let go. A few things have appeared in my life that are showing me that I need to let go of things and not try to control things left and right.
mhm.
And so there's a little bit of resistance to that letting go. As much as I know I need to let go, there's a part of me that just says, wants to hold on to what I need to let go of.
Oh my gosh, I'm so familiar with that. Uh, you guys, I use Oracle cards. I use them as a catalyst when I'm journaling morning and night. And I keep getting that message of letting go of control. I've learned a lot about how to let go of the past because you and I have done a lot of healing with our work. But this letting go of control and that I don't have to be in control and I don't have to know everything. I don't have to tell everyone what I know. And lately it's been those messages of pull back, let go of it, even when you know you're right. And it's awful. It's really awful. So I understand that, but that's an inner part of us. I mean, if you think back, we know all of our younger selves are within us. If you think back in time, was there a point, do you remember about feeling like this when you had to relinquish control or you were holding,
Recently, or
anywhere. You can go all the way back to
mm,
childhood. Mm,
yeah,
yeah,
lots of events where I needed to learn to let go of things. It wasn't my ability to fix things. I didn't have to fix things that I was controlling or trying to control, trying to worry about.
right.
They didn't know how to.
Yeah. One of the things we find is we can be way back and we can be in that stage of really wanting to help everybody be
Hmm.
safe and be calm and stop fighting or be well. All sorts of things can happen on
Hmm.
ourselves, try to control it and we can't. And then, all sorts of stuff happens. And then there's also when we get busy, 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 and we're really working hard to help others with our jobs and, we're helping families. Oh my gosh, a new grandbaby, all sorts of stuff going on. Our body lets us know it's time to stop. And if we haven't done anything to uh, make sure we have that downtime and that self-care, something happens. And damn it, you got a cold. It's like, so, it is time to listen to our body, right? So I want you to look into your body and just kind of do a scan. I know that the cold is in your head and your chest, but do you feel anywhere else in your body? Any discomfort or pain, unease, sensations?
There's tightness in my solar plexus.
Hmm. Is that the strongest sense in your body?
Um, Not in my third eye. I think my third eye is trying to, I'm challenged with seeing myself healthy.
Uh-huh. Right. So we've got the solar plexus, which is the third chakra, and then we have the third eye, which is actually the sixth.
Mm.
And what I really want to focus on here is in your solar plexus, which everyone, that is just below the rib cage and in our core. And this is the part that's responsible for taking action. And, sometimes we get triggered here back to a time when we started to do something and we put our heart into it. Or we might have just been trying to solve a problem up front of the classroom in front of everyone and we couldn't, or read out loud or spell a word and things like that. There can be all sorts of we call them little T traumas that can happen. And we can have this sort of, it's kind of like a gut punch where it's not as low as the belly in the second chakra, but it's up in that stomach and upper abdomen. And we get that blockage there that really has the resistance, as you were saying before, of not wanting you to do whatever it is you need to do, even when you love it. And it can be a real stop. So I just want you to pay attention to that part that has triggered the whole rest of your body to respond as well. Like there's, okay, now we're filling up with all this sinus stuff and the cough, the throat, everything's fighting each other. If this part of you in your solar plexus, can you describe it a little bit? Is there a color, a shape, a texture, a figure?
Kind of a bumpy knot.
All right. They have a color at all?
Kind of a not not necessarily black, but it's kind of a brownish,
Mm-hmm.
dewy color.
Ooey. I like that description. Dark, ooey,
Mm-hmm.
brownish.
And it's
Okay. Uh-huh.
bumpy and full of, it's not smooth around. I mean, it's kind of an unusual shape.
Yeah, sort of all knotted up, right? Well, I think we're all familiar with that feeling, been all knotted up right there. So I want you to just put your hand on that part and just, sink down and feel into it. And if this part of you, this bumpy knot, can talk, what does it want to tell you? What is it saying? Just guess.
It's it's got some hesitation and some reticence, fear around expanding my radio show.
Mm. Because,
What if I fail? Or if I can't sustain what I've been doing?
yeah, okay,
That's that little part of me, that younger version of me that's afraid to take a chance.
of course. How old is she?
Oh, she's 3.
Yeah. So everybody, what I'm doing here is just showing you a little bit about how um, a coaching procedure can go. Sometimes on this uh, session, we'll just pick a topic and tap away. But I wanted to dive in a little bit for Kandiee today and see where we can go. And so many times we go right back to being 3 or 4, 5, 6, 7. We go back to those days and we feel so responsible. Like, how crazy is that, right? So Candy, just feel into that because I want to do some tapping. I'm going to start with notes I took when we first started
Mhm.
about your cold, and then come down and actually uh, let this part of you speak for a second and then speak to her. Does that sound okay for you?
Sounds good.
Okay. So everybody, I'm going to point out the tapping points here, and then make sure that you get the downloads, the tapping points. There are many. We just use some. Um, there's one on the side of the hand. It was formerly called the karate chop, and it's literally the side of your hand that you would use if you were going to chop a board or a block or something. And you tap with the other hand between the bottom of the pinky and the bottom at your wrist there. And you just tap there. I don't always use that one. I like to dive right in most of the time. So, and I will show you the order I use, but you never have to go in that direction. You can tap and start wherever you want and wherever you want. But the first one is at the eyebrow point, which is literally at the end of your brow where it meets the nose. And this is the one that a lot of people tend to go up into the middle of their forehead, like they're on the third eye, but that is not it. It's right at the end of that brow on that bone. And the next one is at the side of the eye, at the other end of the brow on that bone again. And below the eye, right under the eye, under that pupil, that's on that bone. It's an orbital bone around the eye that we're tracing. Then under the nose, just above the lip, and then on the chin, just below the lips. The next one is called the collarbone point, which if you come down to your collarbones, there's like two little knobs on each end. And if you come down and out about, it's usually about an inch or so, to the indentation. It's kind of an angle going out and down. And now know that these points run down both sides of the body and the face. So you can use both of them together. Oh gosh. Zoom likes to give me fireworks, you guys. They just went off. So they run on both sides of the body. So you can use both hands or just one. You can alternate if you get tired with one. It does not matter. It works one or both. Okay, the next point is under the arm, parallel to the bra line. It's about 3 or so inches just below the armpit. And you can reach across your body with your other hand, or you can tuck your arm under and tap it that way. Children like that. It's like the chimpanzee. They love it. And then the top of the head is right at the crown, and you can tap right there and you can kind of circle around a bit. It's a really great place, Candy, I know, for helping high blood pressure, but it might also help release some of that congestion there.
Hmm.
And as we go through with the eyes and the nose, that's going to help as well, I'm sure. Getting down into that collarbone will help your chest, everything will. And something I found recently, I often gravitate to just one point because it'll just be all of a sudden and if you do the collarbone, it's very easy. And I tend to put my hand on my heart and use the thumb and first finger on those points. Those points right there are universal because
Mm.
everything runs through them. So it's really kind of cool. You don't have to know anything about all these chakras and stuff, just know where these points are and use them. Okay, so let's get started. I'm just going to tap through the points, Candy, and Candy's going to repeat after me. So if you're on this or you're following anyone in a video or audio, that's how you do it. You listen and you repeat. And every time we change to another statement, we move to another point, and we just keep moving through in rounds like that. So let's take a breath. When everyone listening, you do the same. kind of feel into your body and see where you might be feeling any sensations, discomfort, unease, even some tingling into your body. Think about what's happening in your mind, a situation, something going on with a person, or it doesn't matter. And just tune into that and kind of check in with how intense that is. We'll often use a scale of 0 to 10, and 10 is like you're in panic or almost in panic. 0, of course, you're calm. So often when we have some anxiety going on, that number goes up there. I forgot to ask you, Kandiee, where were you when you were talking about that?
I'm probably at about a 6.
Okay, so we're up there a bit. So just tune into that, just make note of it. And we'll start tapping. Take another breath. I'll start with the eyebrow point and put my glasses on so I can read my own notes. Okay. Oh my gosh, I have a cold
Oh my gosh, I have a cold.
and it's getting stronger.
And it's getting stronger.
And I'm going on a trip
And I'm going on a trip
to a wedding.
to a wedding.
That stresses me out.
And that stresses me out.
I want it to be manageable.
I want it to be manageable.
Sound awful. This cold is getting to me,
Cold is getting to me,
even though I think it's getting better.
even though I think it's getting better.
It really sounds awful.
It really sounds awful.
I don't want to scare people.
I don't want to scare people.
Show up at the wedding, hacking away.
Oh, the wedding hacking away.
Head is in a fog. I can't think.
My head is in a fog. I can't think.
The cold meds have something to do with that.
The cold meds have something to do with that.
And I'm not thinking clearly.
And I'm not thinking clearly.
And I just don't want to be hacking.
And I just don't want to be hacking.
I'm really tired.
I'm really tired.
I don't have strength to get through this.
And I don't have strength to get through this
Make it go away.
and make it go away.
I feel so overwhelmed.
Just so overwhelmed.
It's really a severe cold.
It really is a severe cold.
The heck?
It
It won't go away.
won't go away.
And now I feel anxious.
And now I feel anxious.
All this anxiety coming up
All this anxiety coming up
because I've been working on how to let go
because I've been working on how to let go,
and not try to control things.
not try to control things.
I have a lot of resistance around that.
And a lot of resistance around that.
I have this part of me,
I have this part of me,
my inner rebel,
my inner rebel,
says, don't tell me what to do.
don't tell me what to do.
I can take care of it.
I can take care of it.
But my body has something else in mind.
And my body had something else in mind.
And all of this anxiety,
And all of this anxiety,
I feel like I can't fix it.
I feel like I can't fix it.
And it feels right in my solar plexus,
And it feels right in my solar plexus.
so tight.
Tight.
I have this cough,
I have this cough,
tension up in my forehead at the third eye,
tension up in my forehead at the third eye,
and it's aggravating.
and it's aggravating.
And all this anxiety
And all this anxiety
landing right there in my third chakra.
landing right there in my third chakra.
It feels like a big, bumpy knot,
Feels like a big bumpy knot,
all twisted up.
all twisted up,
It's dark,
dark,
ooey,
Ooey.
It's really all knotted up.
It's really all knotted up.
I'm all knotted up.
I'm all knotted up.
I have all this hesitation,
Have all this hesitation,
and it's making me even more tired,
and it's making me even more tired,
even more anxious.
even more anxious.
Takes me back to a real, excuse me, a real young part of me.
Takes it back to a real young part of me,
And I don't want to look at it.
and I don't want to look at it.
All right, so take a breath. I want you to imagine that little 3-year-old who's sitting in fear and she's trying to tell you something. So we want her to be able to speak. Because often when we have things going on in our body that are uncomfortable, it has to do with an inner part of us who's trying to give us some kind of warning. And it isn't logical to our adult brain, but this little one is afraid for you. So we'll start tapping and addressing her first and asking her to speak, and we'll let her speak. Well, hello there, little one.
Hello there, little one.
I feel you.
I feel you.
You have me all in knots,
You have me all in knots,
and I don't understand.
and I don't understand.
But I thank you for being here
But I thank you for being here,
because you have protected me my whole life.
and you have protected me my whole life,
You've shown me what to do,
telling me what to do,
especially when I really want to fix things and I can't.
especially when I really want to fix things and I can't.
So I just want you to know I appreciate that.
I just want you to know I appreciate that,
And I'd like you to tell me a little bit more.
and I'd like you to tell me a little bit more.
Okay, so we're going to switch up and she is going to speak. And I wrote notes about what she was saying, but if anything else comes up, Kandiee. So I'm hesitating
I'm hesitating
because I'm afraid.
because I'm afraid.
I'm afraid for you
I'm afraid for you
about you expanding that radio show.
about you expanding that radio show.
What if you fail?
What if you fail?
What if you fail?
What if you fail?
This isn't safe.
This isn't safe.
You need to pull it back in.
You need to pull it back in.
You know how to stay small.
What was that?
You know how to stay small.
Know how to stay small.
I'm just afraid for you to take this chance.
I'm just afraid for you to take this chance.
What if you can't sustain it?
What if you can't sustain it?
Okay, now we're switching back. Well, thank you so much for telling me.
Thank you so much for telling me.
And I'm sorry I haven't paid attention to you,
I'm sorry I haven't paid attention to you.
but you're using an old method
So you're using an old method
to get my attention.
to get my attention.
Old reptilian method.
Old reptilian method.
So we need a new way,
So we need a new way,
my way.
my way.
No longer will you tighten me up
No longer will you tighten me up
because we are safe.
because we are safe.
There is no tiger chasing us here.
There's no tiger chasing us here.
We are safe.
We are safe.
I am safe.
I am safe.
Thank you for being here
Thank you for being here
and for protecting me,
and for protecting me,
pointing out all the signs.
pointing out all the signs.
But I need you to take a new job
I need you to take a new job.
And when you want my attention,
When you want my attention,
I need a more gentle approach.
need a more gentle approach.
You can whisper in my ear,
You can whisper in my ear,
tap me on the shoulder,
tap me on the shoulder,
maybe show me a sign.
maybe show me a sign.
Even in my stomach, it can be more gentle
Even in my stomach can be more gentle.
because I know you're not going anywhere.
Because I know you're not going anywhere.
It's like the fear that you hold.
The fear that you hold.
But as long as you do it gently,
As long as you do it gently,
promise I'll pay attention.
I promise I'll pay attention.
You can point out all the red flags.
I can point out all the red flags.
I will stop and take a breath.
I'll stop and take a breath.
I'll start tapping.
I'll start tapping.
I will ask,
I will ask,
what do I need to know?
what do I need to know?
What do I need to see?
What do I need to see?
What do I need to hear
What do I need to hear
or feel
or feel
or smell or taste?
or smell or taste?
I promise I'll listen.
I promise I'll listen.
We are safe.
We are safe.
And I know that I am on the right path
And I know that I'm on the right path
for my highest good,
for my highest good
greatest joy,
and greatest joy
and the highest good of all.
and the highest good of all.
All right, now just take a breath and shake it out. And as we come back out of this visualization with your inner child and the fear that she always holds, what type of job would you like her to have? She can be your guardian angel, your security guard, your business manager, your
Mm,
lookout. What's good for her?
You can be a lookout.
Okay. So just tell her, you can be my lookout.
You can
We've
be
got,
you can be my lookout.
all right. So let her shrink down back into your heart where she always lives. And I encourage you, whenever you're feeling any sensation in your body anywhere, from tingling in your feet and hands to some sort of buzz in your head or that tightness in your belly, in your stomach, even the slightest little cough, just sort of stop and say, what is this?
Mm.
So feeling into your body again. How do you feel in your body? What's going on?
The knot is gone.
Oh, wow, that's great. Excellent. Excellent.
My body feels calm.
Oh, wow, that's so good. Do we have a number now? We were up at a 6.
I would say probably a one.
Wow. Wow, that's so great. So everybody, this scale, um, it's not just one number at a time, it's logarithmic. So every time it goes down, it's like 10, 100, 1,000, 10,000, 100,000 times less. So even when you come down one number, you have significantly moved. So if you're feeling very high anxiety or higher emotion, maybe you're really angry, it doesn't matter. Start tapping and just allow your body to shift. You will feel something. You might get a yawn, which I noticed Kandiee did early on. A sneeze, a tear or more tears, coughing, all sorts of other things, or just subtle movements within your body. You might even just feel this coming through. That is energy moving. It's stuck energy and it's moving. So it's very, very safe. You can do this very quickly. I call it tapping in the moment. I write about this a lot in the book, but I did a lot of it when I was going through major anxiety and frustration with my late husband, who had dementia and heart disease and stuff. And so I would literally be rinsing out a little plate at the kitchen sink and tapping with my other hand on my collarbone or somewhere. And like, oh my God, I'm so frustrated. Right? And it's okay. Just let that come through. It's very, very powerful. Everybody notice that we have not cured Candy's cold, but she hasn't coughed in about a minute at least. It's kind of subsided a little bit. So, keep tapping, Candy. And, the other thing I was talking about, whenever you feel something in your body like that, um, everybody, this is for everyone. When you get a sensation in your body, you'll begin to recognize that whenever you get kind of triggered by something, you will automatically have a similar sensation every time. For me, if it's really a trigger, I go like, it's like I can't catch my breath. My heart starts to beat faster. It's that thing. And your hand might automatically go there on your chest. So whatever that is. But often it's like something's just off. The air feels weird. It's like something's not right. I've learned now that if you don't pay attention to it, the next day and you feel it again, it might be a little stronger. If you go to the third day and you don't address it, it is going to come out sideways. Like that inner house of you that I write about in the book, the pipes are going to burst somewhere. And it comes out, and it not only is a mess for you, but for other people. And it can come out as a weepy cries, poor me kind of thing. It come out as impatience and snarkiness, or real anger and shouting and getting into that pointing fingers kind of stuff. So if you can do it ahead of time and point fingers at yourself, using the tapping method is powerful. So I know for me, when I start to get that sensation, that feeling of being off, I know I need to get outside, take my inner child out for a walk, and we will do sort of a walk and tap, doing that kind of idea to let that part of you speak.
Mm.
Yeah. What else, Candy? Any words for our listeners?
I find it very soothing. I mean, yeah, I think it's calmed my it did calm my nervous system to the point that, yeah, I'm still stuffed up, but not like I was.
Yeah, good.
And I don't feel that not.
Excellent. And I'm behind me now, in my bookcase, I have the little Russian stacking dolls or nesting doll.
Hmm.
Beside her, you can't hardly see her, is the tiniest one. And if we can refer to that image of how within the doll is another doll, and within that one is another one, another one, another one. When I was looking online, it was endless how many kinds they have. And they go from 5 to 7 or 10 of these little guys inside. Remember that all of our younger selves are there within us. And when we are reacting, it's that tiniest little one who's reacting.
Yeah.
So, you might really get upset with yourself because you just got triggered, but then you can give yourself compassion and know that this little one is there to protect you. She is always with you, and she might show up as big, mean fear, and she might show up as your 20-year-old rebel. It can be any of those inner parts of us that experienced traumas and wounds, and they
Mm.
hold them. And, my last bit is to say that the clients who come to me are often really in dire straits with their health because they've been holding everything in their whole life. So they feel like they're falling apart in body, mind, and spirit. And it's like this is, as you say, that hope for maybe this can work. And I trust me on this, it does. You can still do all of the Western and Eastern medicine approaches, and you add this part in with some guidance.
Mhm.
It's miraculous. So, Kandiee, I hope you get well soon and quickly. When are you leaving town? Where are you going? What's happening?
Oh, we're leaving tonight. We have
Oh
a,
my gosh.
my husband has a wedding, or we have a wedding, but he's one of the groomsmen in the wedding. So,
Uh-huh.
the wedding is this weekend in Texas. So we're
Oh
flying.
my gosh, Texas. Okay. We're not just going a couple hours away. We're in a plane. We're going back to
Yeah,
the
no,
States. And
everything
oh,
is a
a plane,
long trip for us.
cold on a plane. Oh man. All right. So just walk around tapping today.
I
You know,
will.
just I am breathing easily. My lungs are clearing. My sinuses are good. I can think better. Just those positive affirmations to help you get through it. Oh, wow. Thank you. Thank you for being here, everybody. I'm going to turn the recording off now. Thank you so much for being here.